college basketball scene. KVNU Aggie Game Day is brought to you by Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, LSS Insurance, Young Truck and Trailer, DD Auto and Salvage, My Mattress, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Elements Restaurant, White Pine Funeral Home, ChemDry of Northern Utah, Aegis Home Health and Hospice, Les Olson Company, Prodigy Brewing, Cache Valley Bank, Jerrick's Fine Jewelry, Daryl's Appliance, HSA Depot, Advanced Fireplace and Stove, Alpine Home Medical, S.E. Needham Jewelers, Thermo Fisher, Primrose Home Care, and Golden Spike Electric. It's the KVNU Aggie Game Day pregame show.
Well, we begin our second two-game week of this early 22-23 schedule for Utah State Aggie basketball, and it is another real solid program. Santa Clara is here tonight for a matchup of 2-0 teams so far in this early part of the season. The Broncos had a number 12 draft choice in this past year's NBA draft, and that was Jalen Williams. He was a 6'6", real good all-around player. He's taken by Oklahoma City. And they may have another guy that the Hoops world will start to keep track of here pretty soon in 6'5", Brandon Podjemski. It's only early, but 2 games for Coach Herb Sendak's team at Santa Clara. This Illinois transfer has scored 30 in one game, and then he scored 32 in the other.
That has to be one of the better shooting displays we've seen. Yeah, I mean, there's not enough adjectives to describe the shooting display he put on in the first half. Not only did he make his open ones, but he made some tough ones.
That was the game against Georgia Southern last Thursday night. So the early big scorer there is a high school phenom. He was from Wisconsin, played 16 games for Illinois last year. So he really has burst on the scene this year. Not really expected to be like that, but he'll be a challenge for our Aggies to try to slow down. But so far, Aggies are allowing just 58 and 62 points in the 2 games. They're only allowing 34% shooting by Utah Valley and Bradley. Defense shows that they've been a challenge so far for this number 22 on the Spectrum floor tonight for the Santa Clara Broncos. But our number 3, Stephen Ashworth, he can fill it up as well. 28 the other night.
Some nights I think it just feels like that. You feel like you're throwing rocks in the ocean. You can't miss. And tonight was one of those nights. I had a really good morning workout with Matt Hart, and shot was feeling well, and free throws were feeling well. And so I knew that if I was aggressive, I'd get my chances to get to the free throw line, which is always great for a shooter, and I did that, and I think that helped with the rest of my game.
Matt, one of the graduate managers for this year's team, and Ashworth, of course, led to that team effort to get us to 2-0 and matching 3 seasons ago. And so, again, Utah State with a win over Bradley, win against Utah Valley, and now it is 2 from the West Coast Conference this week. And, of course, that conference dominated by Gonzaga. But this is a really good matchup, again, as we get going this week, Coach.
We're excited, obviously, to be playing in the Spectrum again, on a good Monday night. A week ago, got off to a good start against UVU. Obviously had a nice game against Bradley and in a hard-fought physical game. And I thought our guys, played very well on defense.
And so we will see San Francisco Pepperdine perhaps later on in the tournament over in Hawaii. But again, it will be Utah State and San Diego that will play the 2 games this week along with Utah State Santa Clara tonight. So it's KVNU Aggie Game Day underway tonight. Remember the Riverwoods Conference Center, a great spot for your Christmas parties. You need to book the rooms for that right now. And Elements Restaurant, again, for Thanksgiving dinner. If you need help with that, they, of course, can help you out with that. LSS Insurance is really helping lots of people right now with their open enrollment of the insurance season, 752-9293. Make a call and get an appointment set up for you and your needs. And when you love your mattress, you're going to love My Mattress. They're down by South Walmart in Logan. They're also on Riverdale Road down in the Ogden area, rated number 1 for better sleep. And they bring you game day tonight. Let's bring in our Jalen Moore. And Jalen, as we're talking about, 2 solid wins by our Aggie team so far, showing quite a bit of depth. Guys that can really make a big play for the Aggies at times, right?
Yeah, we've shown a lot of different looks. Like you said, our defense has been there, which is a big thing. Our defense and rebounding have been good the last 2 games, which we know will win a lot of games for you. And then offensively, Barstow and Shulga kind of struggled. They did a lot of other good things. They just struggled scoring the ball last game, and it was good because, a guy like Funk stepped up, and then you get 28 from Ashworth off the bench, which is big time, and Hamoda pitched in double digits off the bench too, which is also big time. Whenever you can get that bench production and have those guys that bring energy and stuff like that off the bench that can produce, it makes you a hard team to beat. As long as we have guys that are going to be there every time, we're going to be solid, and we have that. Like we said, Bairstow and Shoga weren't there, and we had two guys that could come off the bench and step up their game and do what they need to do. So I think the depth is there offensively, and then defense and rebounding has been there so far too.
I think you're absolutely right. Game 1 was the starters leading the way offensively. Game 2, the bench, 54 of the points against Bradley in that game. I asked the coach yesterday, though, is starting for him really that important?
Really couldn't care less who starts. We have 15 starters, as far as I'm concerned, and that needs to be their mentality too. Whatever choice is made in a particular game, or if you're in the lineup to start the game or you're not, you have a responsibility to play a certain way, right? And that's all we really care about. We're trying to win, and I think that mentality, at least so far, has been something that these guys have taken on.
Jalen, early in your career, you played off the bench in the preseason and then kind of got started. I think, as you told us before, I think it was San Diego State or New Mexico in a home game, as I recall, was your first start. Is it important to be a starter? Does that make a guy a better basketball player to have that designation?
I think it just kind of depends, but not necessarily. I think what really showcases it is like who's going to be in the game during crunch time and when we need plays to happen, and sometimes those are guys off the bench. If you look at some good college programs, some good NBA teams, a lot of solid players come off the bench as that sixth man or that seventh man. And like I said, you need that spark from the bench. You don't always want to load that top five or that starting five, because now where's your production from the bench, right? So I like the way that Coach Odom has done it with Hamoda and Ashworth, bringing us that energy and production off the bench so far. And, a good example to even look at for this season in the NBA, you look at a guy like Russell Westbrook. He was struggling when he was starting for the Lakers, and now his production and the way that he's doing a lot of stuff is way better off the bench. So I think it just kind of depends on what your role is and what you need to do for the team in order to win, like Coach Odom said.
Now, we know that Steven's going to be there, Stephen Ashworth, in crunch time. He's going to be a guy who can help this team, no matter if he starts or off the bench. This Z Hamoda deal, I want to get into that a little bit later on with you here on the pregame. You've mentioned already defending, this team is rebounding. All of them are doing that. I was wondering, if you watched the first two games, do you notice anything differently about the Aggie offense, which is about 45, 46% shooting, but pretty efficient and doing better from three? Do you notice a difference of an offense, for instance, than how we had it with Justin Bean around the last couple of, or at least last year with Coach Odom?
Yeah, I think it's just more equal opportunity a little bit with this year. And it's not knocking on Justin Bean. I would have done the same thing too. I would have ran the offense through him last year too, like they did. And like we said, it just kind of, it's a good job by Coach Odom. You just have to adjust to the personnel that you have each year. We saw Sam do the same thing. The offense was played through Sam Merrill. Then it was played through Bean. And now, it's going to be played a little bit more equal opportunity. We have guys at all five positions that can score. But like you said, you don't really see a top-loaded guy shooting 20 shots or 18-plus shots. It's a lot of equal opportunity, a lot of guys shooting double digits. Bairstow only shot 7 last game. I think Shoga only shot 6. And like you said, Funk probably was close to double digits. It's just a little bit more equal opportunity, and that's just kind of what the personnel is on our team this year. And sometimes those teams are a little bit harder to beat when you have 5, 6, 7 guys that can really produce and any night give you double-digit scoring.
The Utah Jazz are a team kind of like that this year in the NBA. If you bring up Russell Westbrook and what he's doing, like the Jazz are kind of like that. They've got more depth and more guys that can come through for them in some ways, and I think we're seeing what it's paying off there. The one thing about with Justin Bean gone, everybody, of course, was worried about rebounding. We're right now plus 14 without Justin. Now, this Santa Clara team is also a very good rebounding team. Bradley had good numbers coming into the game. Certainly Taylor Funk has picked it up with the 15.5 points, 11 rebound average through the first two games. That's almost Justin Bean-type numbers there. And the one thing I really liked the other night, Jalen, and you've mentioned it so often about getting to the foul line. Stephen Ashworth said after the game, I had a mentality to go out there and play aggressive, and I wanted to get to the foul line. 11 of 12 free throws. It was the best free throw shooting game the Aggies have had in years as a percentage and amount of free throws, and I think that's going to be something that this team can do as well, as maybe be more aggressive offensively.
Yeah, and it's so important. Free throws can make or break a game for you. They can win or lose it, and so far we've done a good job, and we're doing a good job when we get to the free throw line. I remember last year there was a few times we were shooting 55, 60%, as a team. You go to the free throw line as a team, you shoot about 70%, 75%. That's super good for a team and can win a lot of games for you. And when you have a guy like Ashworth go 12 times and make 11 of them, it's awesome for your team. It's free points. Like I always tell a lot of our kids, hey, there's not a lot of shots that are going to be easier than a free throw, maybe a layup, a wide open layup. But other than that, free throw, pretty much free points, And like I said, I like to use a lot of examples for good players and guys in the NBA. You look at a lot of the solid players, the Kevin Durant's, the James Hardens, Embiid's, guys like that, they get to the free throw line by being aggressive, and they know I can get to the free throw line, I can see the ball go in the hoop, and the game becomes a lot easier for those guys that really fuel off watching the ball go through the hoop, and you can see that. And I think, like Ashworth said, I think that helped him a lot last game as to heat up and get himself going.
Okay, so Jalen and I are underway on covering 2-0 at the start. But, hey, like we said, it's the West Coast Conference this week. Santa Clara tonight, and this Brandon Pojemski, the big-time scorer right now. I think he's number 2 or 3 in college basketball right now. And so we'll have more of Jalen coming up. Our interview tonight, we're going to continue with Trevin Dorius. And, again, he's a much more confident guy this year.
I'm a great defender. I'm a great shot blocker. Around the rim, finishing, that's where I shine. I'm getting offensive boards. I'm going to lead the team in rebounds. That's going to be what I'm going to be bringing to the team.
Meantime, though, in the game 1, maybe not that great, but hey, the coach gave him a shutout in game 2.
Trevin's had a great summer, a great fall, and preseason practice. He's done really well. But he's becoming more and more confident in his own abilities. When you see him catch a dump off and he jumps up to dunk that ball, that's a big guy doing that. And he's an athletic guy.
So we'll talk to Trevin tonight. Our sponsors include Campbell's. We appreciate, let's see, we got Daryl's Appliance Service and Sales, beautiful downtown Benson. Again, Daryl's has all the names you're looking for, including KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Maytag, and more. And great service to back that up, too. And by Jarek's Fine Jewelry, the customers said, hey, I had an excellent experience. Amazing service and quality I got at 930 South Main and Logan. Look for the bright green cars. Make it special and make it Jarek's. So we'll continue with game day. The Aggies in the Spectrum tonight. So tickets remain for the game. It is on the MW Network if you want to follow the game on through the streaming. But again, go to the game tonight and see Santa Clara, Utah State. What a good matchup. Tonight on a Monday night in the Spectrum. Game day continues here on KVNU.
Hi, this is Scott Howder. At Allen Mortuaries, we're mindful of the challenges and changes families who have lost loved ones experience during the holidays. We're also aware of the love, hope, and generosity of others. You are in our thoughts and prayers this holiday season, and we're also available to provide a measure of support whenever needed. We're always here to help. It's what we've been doing for over 80 years. Sincerely wishing you happy holidays from all of us at Allen Mortuaries. Then, now, always.
You have to see it to believe it. The new Three Peaks Medical Plaza is Cache Valley's newest and most up-to-date medical facility. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, the Allergy Clinic, and the Hearing Aid Center are now located in the Three Peaks Medical Plaza in North Logan. The entire staff and Drs. Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette look forward to helping you and your family at this state-of-the-art medical facility. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat is now located in Providence and Three Peaks Medical Plaza, 2245 North 400 East in North Logan. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance products, including SelectMed, are accepted.
Hey, Aggie fans! Looking for the best burger in town? Bring the family to Prodigy Brewing and try out our signature Prodigy Supreme Burger or a wood-fired pizza. Need a smaller plate for the kids? Our kids menu has you covered. Whether you are out with the family or just want to catch the Aggies game with friends, Prodigy Brewing is the place to be in Cache Valley, located at 25 West Center Street in beautiful downtown Logan.
We're heading into some crazy weather this winter, which means power outages. Tyler and his team at Golden Spike Electric can install a Generac automatic standby generator for your home so you can avoid issues when the power goes out. If you have one already, Golden Spike Electric can maintain your Generac automatic standby generator for you. Find them online at gsegenerators.com or call 435-257-3016. Golden Spike Electric and Generac automatic standby generators. Power you can count on.
With inflation at record highs, why buy new if you can repair your current machine? Daryl's Appliances factory-trained technicians spend hundreds of hours in training each year to ensure your appliance is repaired right the first time. You can have peace of mind. They offer no-risk service, meaning if you want to purchase new instead of repair, you can apply up to $95 of your service call towards an appliance purchase. See store for details. Daryl's West on Airport Road, open until 6 p.m. on weekdays, 5 on Saturday.
You're first and goal at the 10-yard line with seconds left on the clock. Your running back is poised for the game-winning touchdown, but before you can make the snap, the opposing team just takes the ball and locks it in a safe, and they won't give you the combination unless you pay them $10,000. That's exactly how ransomware works. And in 2021, 2 out of every 3 organizations fell victim to ransomware attacks. Protect your business with Les Olson Security Suite from Les Olson IT. Learn more at lesolson.com.
KVNU Game Day returns with Al Lewis.
Z's got a really bright future. He's worked hard at his ball handling. He's clearly worked hard at his shooting, right? And he's becoming a much more complete and trustworthy player.
Again, the coach talking about Z Hamoda tying his career high with 15. And again, his other 15 was not against the team of caliber of Bradley last year. He had 4 rebounds and 2 block shots. Those are also career highs, and a career high 22 minutes of playing time. Jalen Moore with me, Al Lewis. No doubt about it. Z Hamoda is our most improved basketball player from last year to this year.
Yeah, he really is. And I love the length that he has. I definitely can tell that his shot looks a lot more smooth. It looks a lot more confident when he shoots. I like the way he attacks the rim. And like I said, I like it. He has length, he's athletic, and I think he could really turn into a great two-way player, a guy that can give you buckets on the offensive end, but also get in a stance and stop other good scorers on the other team. So I'm excited to see how he keeps improving. But so far, I think his biggest improvement has been his consistency with his three-point shot. His pull-up jumper looks good. And, yeah, he just looks really confident. I think he's going to be a big piece for our team. Like I said, especially coming off the bench with Ashworth, I think if those guys can keep up that consistency that they've given us so far to those 2 games, I think it'll be big for us.
Yeah, you can't coach physical attributes, and Z Hamoda has that. But here, think about this, Jalen, a little. Put yourself in his spot. He is the first college basketball player to play from his country of Bahrain there in the Middle East. I mean, this is an area that probably is soccer and some other sports. And, like, for instance, you grew up with basketball. Your dad was an Aggie basketball player. You always probably had a basketball around all the time. For him to pick up basketball and then to maybe come to the States and play 1 year or a couple years at a prep school, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 where he played at the prep school, to be at this point, I mean, he's kind of a trailblazer, but also he's picked it up quickly, too, in a really kind of an interesting situation.
Yeah, it's been good, and it's interesting because I'm sure when he goes back home, I'm sure he does a lot of things with basketball. And I think he's probably got some underclassmen and some younger kids that want to follow in his footsteps. And like you said, a lot of them probably play other sports, especially soccer is really popular. And you probably have some kids that want to pick up basketball and try it out and figure it out how to play it. And for what he's done to come over this way and be successful. I think you will see some other people around from that area, so don't be surprised if you see a few more. And he probably will go back home after he's done playing, and do camps or clinics and stuff like that. And I think that'd be a great way for his country to get introduced to basketball for people that want to learn it and learn some new things. And I think it's awesome for him. I think he likes it. And my favorite thing, like I said, is he's successful and he's got attributes and he does good things and he plays on a winning program and stuff. So I think he's definitely going to get he's going to get noticed, and I think that's going to be big for him to go back and introduce basketball in his home country.
And every time they say he's the first player from Bahrain, there's going to be coaches see him play. They're going to go, okay, we're going to check out Bahrain. We're going to start to look that direction. Here's what Coach Odom said in detail about him the other night.
Again, I can't highlight Z's defense enough. Z was tremendous. Like his length, like his ability to recover when he's out of position and get back, or when he goes and helps. Like he's an amazing athlete. And now when you add the discipline, to that, he has a chance to be a special player.
So I think Coach Odom's talking exactly what you said there, Jalen. So tonight is Santa Clara. Guess what, Jalen? This is the first time the Aggies have played Santa Clara since November 19th, 2014. You were the leading scorer in that game as the Aggies beat the Bulldogs 60-54. in that game. You had that Jared Brownridge, who played for them, was a big-time scorer for Santa Clara. They got this big score right now. But you had 15 points, and you made 8 of 12 free throws. So you got to the foul line a lot against them. And do you remember that game?
Yeah, I do. And like you said, it's interesting because Santa Clara always seems to have one or two guys that are really good scorers. And like in that year, they had a guy that was also going off, and we did a good job on them. They shoot hard shots, they make hard shots, and I think Pajemski's going to be, I think he's going to be similar, and he's young, he's got size. But yeah, it's a good game. WCC teams they seem to always want to come here, and we go there a lot too. So we always give them good games, and I think tonight's going to be another good game, and it's going to be fun to watch. And I think from here on out, our schedule steadily just gets harder and harder, and so I think it'll be fun to really see where our team's at. And if we can go out there and start 3-0 and beat a team like this Santa Clara team, I think it's going to be really tough for us. And I think other teams are going to start to take notice that, hey, we're pretty legit this year, even though we lost some good pieces last year.
Aggies are 6-3 against Santa Clara all-time, have won 3 in a row in the series as they come in. And I said this earlier. Don't you agree? I mean, we're going to play San Diego Thursday. Steve Lavin is now their new coach. We play again later on. We're going to play another team from their conference in Loyola in this conference. We could play Pepperdine over in Hawaii. Gonzaga has made everybody in this conference a better basketball team, even though they might not be beating Gonzaga. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I think they have to. If they want to try to compete with the likes of Gonzaga, they got to go get better recruits. They got to get better athletes. They got to get guys that can get up and down the court and compete with Gonzaga, because you've heard things about Gonzaga potentially wanting to leave the conference, all this kind of stuff, but it hasn't happened. So the other teams that are in the conference, they got to, and now that BYU is leaving the conference, there's other teams that have that potential to step up and fill in kind of that missing spot that BYU is going to leave and go to a different conference. What team's going to kind of step up and be that second, third best team? And I think a lot of coaches and assistant coaches from these programs are going out there and are able to recruit and go into that transfer portal and get 4th, 5th-year seniors that can come to their program and produce right away.
Yep. Gonzaga maybe thought about some of those guys and then said, okay, they went some other direction. Those other teams can say, hey, now remember, Gonzaga wanted you at one time, but then they went another direction. You can now play against them every year. I mean, that's kind of an interesting way to do it. This number 22, Brandon Pojemski, is a 6'5 sophomore from Greenfield, Wisconsin. At Illinois, played just 16 games and didn't score big, but 30 against Eastern Washington, 34 against Georgia Southern. And here is what Coach says about him.
Yeah, he can shoot. He's very good with his fakes, and attacking you and getting you off balance. He's good in transition. They move him around, in their offense to where he's getting handoffs. He's coming off of ball screens. They're screening for him. And he just understands kind of how to get free. And so we're going to have to stay attached. We're going to have to do a good job of, not allowing him easy looks, and certainly transition, it can be a factor in that, where that's the best time for guys to get loose. So we've got to make sure that we mark him.
Does he play 2?
Yeah, he's a 2 guy. He's a 2 guard.
So who do you cover him with? Roughly?
Max. Yeah, Max, Z. I think there'll be multiple guys. We'll switch some, so there'll be multiple guys that'll end up covering him at times. But Max will start on him.
Again, so there's the scouting report on Pojemski, this player, but it's not just him. They have a transfer from Tennessee State, Carlos Marshall, who's played well for him off the bench. Keyshawn Justice is a returning guy, a graduate, and Parker Brown is still with the program. Parker Brown is a 6'10 guy. Justice is 6'7 on the wing. Carlos Stewart, a guard, is really, really fast. So they've got size. They can defend. They can rebound. Again, Herb Sendak, their veteran coach, in I think it's what year? He's in his 7th year at Santa Clara. He says this.
And this team is going to continue to learn and grow and become a true team.
Again, that's what he has to say, and he knows. He's got 512 career wins. He is next up on the list. He's going to pass John Chaney, the longtime coach at Temple. They were in the NIT last year, like the Aggies. They were 21-12. It was their first postseason they'd had in years. But he's coached 4 first-rounders in the NBA, Sendak has, including James Harden, 9 of his former assistants are now head coaches around, as he's been at Miami, Ohio, North Carolina State, and then Arizona State, and now at Santa Clara. So he knows how to get things. He's looking for his 100th win at Santa Clara tonight. So, Jalen Moore, let's turn to you and do our keys to the game tonight, brought to you by Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning. Remember, their number is 752-7272. Save big on a good heating system for you right now as we get towards these cold days. Get your system already checked if you've got it. See how it's going to run for this year. 752-7272. So, Broncos and Ags, what do you see tonight?
Yeah, so obviously first key, we got to do a job on Pojemski. Obviously just heard from Coach Odom. Max is going to start him, and I think that's a good matchup. I think Max is going to be quick and strong for him and make him have to work. And then, like I said, I like it. Throwing Z on him, put some length on him. Sometimes we might switch, get a big on him. Sometimes you might switch and get a little guy on him, get up in him and make him uncomfortable. I think those are the things that we're going to have to do with players that can score at that high of level. You just have to make them uncomfortable. They're going to make shots. They're going to make some hard shots. You just can't let them get things going easily. And like we touched on earlier, I think he's an aggressive player. He's going to try to get to the free throw line, and I know he's shot a good amount of free throws in his first 2 games. So we got to keep him off the free throw line, but we have to just do a job and make it hard for him to score. So I think that's going to be the first number 1 key. I think we got to do a job on Pojemski. Number 2, we have to keep him off the free throw line. We have been talking about that on the show, and I'm glad we touched on it because it's such a big thing that can win games for you. Their first game, they shot 24 free throws as a team. The second game, they shot 28. So they're almost shooting about 25 free throws a game as a team, and we can't let that happen. We have to be the aggressors, and we have to keep them off of the free throw line. So I think that's something to keep an eye on as well. And number 3, I think we have to box out. I'm not too worried about us. About them defensive rebound, I'm a little bit worried about how they offensive rebound. They send a few, right? The first game, I think they had 15 rebounds in the first game and 10 in the second offensive rebounds. So that means they're probably sending about 3 or 4 guys to the deep O boards every time. We got to do a job and box out. That means all 5 of our guys have to box out, and we might even have to have some of our guards come in there and get those long rebounds. So I think if we do those 3 things, I think we come away with the win tonight.
You brought up the free throw line. We had 27 free throws the other day, and that's the most we've had in years in a game. So, again, they've been getting about that on average, if not more. And remember how much we fouled the other night in the game against Bradley. There were so many fouls called, so you really got to watch that. Keep him off the foul line. Good stuff tonight, Jalen. Always good to talk to you before the game. Again, we hope it goes well like it did the last time we played Santa Clara, and we won the game, and you were the leading scorer, and we'll talk to you after the game and get your opinions on how it was when the Aggies go to 3-0, okay?
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
All righty. Jalen Moore joining with us. Appreciate that very much. And coming up, we do have, again, we're going to talk about this situation of playing a game like this. What a good game, again, to have for the Aggies. And Coach Odom, of course, will talk more about that. We're going to get you to know more about Dan Akin. I'll tell you what, this guy is really an entertaining guy.
Yeah, I'm quite confident in my role. Obviously, being an older guy, this guy, obviously being familiar with the coaches, I kind of knew what I was expecting when I came in.
Yeah, he's, of course, played with Coach Odom at UMBC. And then it is Trevin Dorius night tonight. We'll finish up that interview with the big center.
I mean, I didn't think it would change it that much, but there is really something special when you don't have to, make time to drive and go visit your girlfriend or your fiance. Just being able to come home and have her be there, it's improved morale, it's improved my life, it's improved everything.
He became a married guy, Stephen Ashworth, another married Aggie, so we'll talk more with that coming up. Aggies in Santa Clara, top of the hour again up at the Spectrum, still seats remain. HSA Depot is bringing you Game Day, a store where you can confidently use your FSA and HSA to buy the medical supplies for your family by Sally's Beauty out there on North Main, and also brought to you by White Pine Funeral Services. Again, creating healing experiences for your family and your loved ones, again, with many years of experience in tough situation times for families. It's game day for the Aggies trying to go to 3-0. Santa Clara's trying to do the same. We'll be right back.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. My wife and I were laughing the other day because she read an article about things not to buy online. The first thing was prom dresses. Dresses advertised versus dresses delivered. Needless to say, what people thought they were getting is not what they got. It's much the same with mattresses. Almost always, buying a mattress online ends in buyers being let down. At My Mattress, we try to always exceed expectations. Lower prices than online and better beds. Only at My Mattress.
Aegis Home Health and Hospice loves helping the people they serve. Aegis is a home health and hospice organization that lives by core values of character, experience, and trust. Every day, Aegis' goal is to help you with whatever your healthcare needs are and to do it wherever you need us to. Aegis, A-E-G-I-S. Aegis Home Health and Hospice. Call 723-9000 or find them at myaegis.com.
Holiday parties and events at the Riverwoods Conference Center offer a festive and fun holiday atmosphere. Paired with catering from the Elements Restaurant, your special occasion can include tasty hors d'oeuvres, delicious entrees, and decadent desserts that always deliver excellence. Now accepting reservations for the 2022 holiday season, the Riverwoods Conference Center and Elements Restaurant can accommodate you whether your event is large or small. Visit theriverwoods.com or call 750-5151.
The Young Automotive Group is proud to announce Young Truck and Trailer Center in Cache Valley. Whether it's heavy equipment trailers, horse trailers, race car trailers, or cargo and utility trailers, we're excited to offer some of the finest trailers and flatbed work trucks to Cache Valley. Our team of experts look forward to helping you find the right truck or trailer to fit your needs, with competitive prices offered on every make and model for sale on our lot. With our extensive inventory, you'll find the best deals right here in Cache Valley. Young Truck and Trailer Center, just off Highway 89 in Logan. Think young, drive young.
Nothing compares to the warmth and feel that a wood stove provides. The two-time Best of Northern Utah winning team says there's never been a better time to replace your old inefficient wood stove and install a new energy-efficient EPA-certified Vermont casting wood product in your home. The U.S. government is offering federal tax credits of 26% on your wood stove install for Vermont casting units that includes stoves, venting, and labor. Call or email Advanced Fireplace and Stove for a free in-home estimate. Call 435-752-7272 or go to advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
Hi, this is Bob Larson with LSS Insurance. Exciting news. Humana is now offering Medicare Advantage plans in our area for 2023. Come see us to learn more or go to our website lssins.com for a meeting schedule. Get the most out of Medicare. The seminar is free. Call 752-9493 for details. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 752-9493. That's 752-9493.
Aggie Game Day continues, sponsored by Prodigy Brewing on News Talk KVNU.
Yeah, I'm quite confident in my role. Obviously, being an older guy, this guy, obviously being familiar with coaches, I kind of knew what I was expecting when I came in.
And again, what we have seen so far is real solid stuff from Van Aken. Again, an 8-point average so far, 8 points rebound in the two games. 10.5 points he averaged last year at Cal Baptist. Before that, his career, of course, was at UMBC with Ryan Odom and this coaching staff. And he comes off again a double-double against Bradley the other night.
Yeah, obviously, good game. Good to get the dub. Obviously, foul trouble. But yeah, I thought we did a good job of just being resilient, coming back, and just keeping them at bay.
Like Jalen and I are talking about, don't get in foul trouble tonight because this team loves to go to the foul line anyhow with these Broncos of Santa Clara. Did you notice the moment or two of the game when he got poked in the eye and his contact lens went out and he kind of had to struggle with that just a little bit? He told the media after the game.
So yeah, obviously the first couple of minutes just being blurry, just have to play through it and just, I guess obviously that kind of just awoke in me. Yeah.
So your vision was blurry for a couple of possessions?
Couple of minutes, yeah.
Blurred vision and still did what he did. And tonight, our man, Eric Franson, from over on the Full Court Press and helps us with, of course, all of our football post-game coverages of Aggie Call. He has done the football Know Your Aggies feature. We thought we'd do a few of basketball this year to get you a chance to meet these guys a little bit better. So making the world healthier, cleaner, and safer is always Thermo Fisher Scientific, and they always bring you Know Your Aggies.
Getting to know our Aggies men's basketball team, Dan Akin. What is your favorite breakfast cereal?
Breakfast cereal? Frosted Flakes.
Okay. Where is your happy place?
Happy place? Probably just in my room, just gaming.
Ooh, what games do you play?
FIFA, 2K, and right now, Fall Guys.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do aliens exist?
I don't know about aliens, but there's definitely some other beings out there looking over us for sure, yeah.
Okay. What do you think they look like?
Nothing like us for sure. Probably just bigger, stronger, just different beings, yeah.
Just different, okay. Yeah. And finally, what would be your spirit animal if you had one?
I I would like to say maybe like a koala bear, just like a laid back, just chill, isn't going to really like try and do too much, just very chill and meek.
Okay, Dan Atkin, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I think that's really neat stuff. Again, the Know Your Aggies feature. So we'll have a couple of those as we go along this year, besides the player interviews that we do. We do have Trevin Dorius to go tonight in our Aggie feature. We will talk to Trevin again. We started off in the first game. We'll bring him back tonight. And your office technology partner is Les Olson Company, and they bring you the game. And here's, again, that first game against Utah Valley. Trevin, again, had played well, we understand, in the close scrimmages they had against California and Washington. He missed 2 shots. He only played about 14 minutes, didn't do much. Second game, he comes back, didn't start well, but then eventually played 18 minutes, hit 3 of 6, 6 rebounds and 6 points, got a +8 in the plus and minus category. And the coach's thoughts on him?
Trevin's had a great summer, a great fall, and preseason practice. He's done really well. And, big guys sometimes can be up and down. And Trevin knows who he is as a basketball player. This is his first time playing like a lot, at this point in the season and starting, right? It's the first time doing that. And, he's big, the Wasatch Front, that's what we want him to be. He just walls up and right around the rim. And, just really, really excited about, his development and, kind of where he can go for the rest of the season. He's a great guy. He's all about the team.
And he is our guest tonight, now listed at 7'1". So, again, as a married man, he's gone another inch up there. Of course, came out of Heber and Wasatch High School, and we found out a little bit about him earlier. But let's continue now with Trevin Dorius. Okay, Trevin, as you go into this year, last year you had such magical moments, a couple of games early in the season. You had the star in the New Mexico game making the free throws when they took you off the bench, and you had to go in and make those shots to get us into the overtime and all that. But let's face it, towards the end of the season, it didn't look like you were getting much of a chance. What did you go into the offseason after all of that to maybe change that into this year?
Yeah, so, going into the offseason, I think the most important thing was just getting some confidence, right? I feel like towards the end of the season, I got pretty upset that I didn't feel like I was getting the shot that I needed to. Kind of got upset about that, upset with myself, upset with the coaches. But since then, we've talked a lot and established what my role is going to be on this upcoming year. And I realized that I'm not gonna be dropping 40 a game. That's not my role. Leave that to Steven or Rylan or Taylor. But I just by focusing on what I can do for this team. I'm a great defender. I'm a great shot blocker. Around the rim, finishing, that's where I shine. And so going into this season, I'm going to finish anything within 5 feet of the rim. I'm getting offensive boards. I'm going to lead the team in rebounds. That's going to be what I'm going to be bringing to the team this year.
I've heard, you can't really talk about these close scrimmages, but I've heard you played pretty well. It sounds like that you maybe have found a little bit of a niche for your game.
Yeah, I think, it's tough because you look at those close scrimmages and, without going into too many details, our team is looking really, really good. But those were on October 15th. There's a lot of time for us to improve, for the opposition to improve. So we use that as a benchmark of this is where we are on October 15th, and we still have a whole lot to go and a whole lot to grow. But I'm excited for what we have, what we showed in those games.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, Trevin, then. When you go into games, is the first thing you're thinking about is defense and rebounding, being the guy to clog up the middle for this team, and then, hey, the points will come where they can?
Yeah, definitely. I've found over the years that when I start focusing on whether or not I'm getting touches or whether or not I'm catching the ball or whether or not I'm scoring, you can really start messing with your head that way. If you miss your first shot and then you kind of get upset about it. But, when you do focus on getting rebounds, and blocking shots and getting steals or deflections, those offensive rebounds usually drop right next to the rim, and those buckets are 100%. So when you start focusing on hustle things that you can control, things that I'm really good at, the points just kind of seem to fall my way. And like I said, I'm not going to drop 40, but role player for sure.
It seems like even maybe since you started, basketball's changing too, and it's the game goes so much everybody wants the ball to go inside to get back outside, and there's sometimes opportunities at all those places, but it just seems like the basketball game is a different kind of game. Some people say, hey, 7-foot centers, no big deal anymore or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it is changing, and it kind of is up to the coaching staff and the players that you have on the roster to decide how your team's going to play. I know that Coach Odom he definitely has both aspects of that in his game, and for the last little while we've been working on just guards setting screens for each other, and it's been just adding more and more tools to our belt. I think is going to make us one of the most versatile teams in the country.
And this is a team that does have some guards.
We have some guards. Yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say than that, but we've got some guards and we've got some depth to our guards for sure.
Okay, personal. You were engaged at the end of the last season, and the big day happened in May sometime?
Yeah. Yes, I got married in May. We've been married for, I guess that puts it at almost 6 months now. Couldn't be happier.
And that was Callie, I think?
That was Callie, yeah.
Okay. And so, married guy, is that, I mean, as you get to this season with, you've been here a long time and all that, but does this kind of change it to be a married basketball player?
I mean, I didn't think it would change it that much, but there is really something special when you don't have to, make time to drive and go visit your girlfriend or your fiance. Just being able to come home and have her be there, it's improved morale, it's improved my life, it's improved everything.
Is there anything about your life that doesn't make you happy? You seem like just kind of a smiling, outward type of guy, Trevin.
I mean, obviously, day by day, things come up. Got a flat tire the other day, had to change my headlight. But, other than that, there's nothing to not be happy about.
You've got a good attitude about things, and especially with what happened towards the end of last season. I like the way it sounds like you've worked in the off season to be a big part of this basketball team in this, maybe your last year.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have a big role here this upcoming year, having it be my senior year and everything. We got to make the most of it. You only have one senior year, right?
Okay. Trevin, it's good to see you. We'll talk to you again.
Thank you.
So our S.C. Needham Jewelers starting lineup tonight on our game day from KVNU. Trevin Dorius, 7'1" center from Heber City, Utah. Again, up until now, averaging 3 points, 4 rebounds. Taylor Funk, the 6'9" graduate senior, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, came here from St. Joe's. He's averaged 15.5 and 11 rebounds a game. Rylan Jones back in the starting lineup tonight, the Olympus High School and former Logan High player from Holiday, Utah, 6 feet and a senior, averaging 3 points, 2 rebounds, but 4.5 assists a game, and of course didn't play much the other night because of fouls. Max Shulga out of Kyiv in Ukraine, 10.5 scoring average so far, 6.5 rebounds. His defense has been excellent. And then the Sean Bairstow factor, he can be explosive. We saw that in the first game against Utah Valley, still averaging 11.5, 6.5 rebounds too for the 6'8" player from Brisbane, Australia. And we got 54 from the bench. So like Coach says, it's almost like everybody's a starter for this team. S.C. Needham Jewelers, of course, should be the start of your holiday gift giving for diamonds, for great gifts, jewelry, but all kinds of other great gifts in the store at S.C. Needham Jewelers. We're coming back, and we're going to talk about this situation, again, foul situations in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for our win. I didn't feel tired at all in the first half, especially with all of those different foul calls. And it can be difficult, but I think when we're also getting to the free throw line, it's keeping our rhythm in sync. And so a big factor is just what we want to do in the second half is make sure we got back to the free throw line and kept them off of it. And I think we did a better job of, we weren't in the bonus as long. And when we did get to the bonus, we didn't put them at the free throw line as often in the one-on-one situations.
And Santa Clara is a team that has lived at the foul line in their first two as Jalen Moore breaks up. So, again, an interesting matchup tonight in the Spectrum.
They're a complete team. They have shooting. They have inside play. They have ball handling. It's going to be a fun game.
We're going to get back to that with the coach. Our coach's segment is coming up next. Again, it's Game Day, and Game Day brought to you in part by ChemDry of Northern Utah. Besides the great carpet cleaning we have always mentioned, they can also do upholstery cleaning, specialty stain removal, dryer vent line cleaning, leather cleaning, and restoration, granite countertop renewal, and wood floor cleaning as well. And by Young Truck and Trailer Center, competitive pricing on the trailers and flatbed work trucks that you need out on Highway 89 about 2900 South. Again, Young Truck and Trailer Center. Game Day continues.
It's that first kiss, that moment in time.
Over
Over the last few years, we have expanded the store to create one of the largest engagement selections in northern Utah. In addition to our goldsmith, we now have a design team that creates, casts, and brings to life your one-of-a-kind ring right here in our store, all for one common goal, to make it special for you. If you haven't been in yet, come see what makes us so special.
Jarrett's fine jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarrett's.
Hi, this is James with White Pine Funerals. We're excited to host our annual holiday concert featuring a choir and musical ensemble by Jay Richards. All are welcome to attend free of charge. We extend a special invitation to anyone who is missing a loved one this holiday season. Food donations are encouraged at the door for the Cash Food Pantry. Back-to-back performances will take place at White Pine on Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. That's Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. or 8:30 p.m.
Thermo Fisher Scientific is hiring for their manufacturing, distribution, and warehouse team. And that's great news for anyone seeking a rewarding career. Thermo Fisher offers positions across multiple shifts, competitive compensation, health benefits, paid time off, bonuses, and an excellent work environment. Help Thermo Fisher make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. Visit job.thermofisher.com and search Logan. Thermo Fisher Scientific is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Chris from the Cater Shop Menswear Store. We believe how you look is the first message you deliver. This also includes our floors at the store. Daryl at Chem Drive Northern Utah and his team came in after hours, cleaned the entire store, and had it ready to go before we opened the next day. I trust Daryl and his team from Chem Drive Northern Utah.
Chem Drive of Northern Utah. Chem Drive of Northern Utah. 435-752-6100.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient, not the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
It's KVNU Aggie Game Day, brought to you by Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning on News Talk KVNU.
Not only against a outstanding basketball team, a program that is steeped in tradition and winning, but they have one of the best home courts in all of college basketball.
Herb Sendak, the seventh-year coach at Santa Clara, but many, many years in college basketball. He knows that Utah State is a tough place for his team to come in and play tonight. I think this is about their only road game that they're playing for a while as far as their schedule goes. Or maybe they play one other one on this trip or the next little bit. I know they have some tournaments they're going to. Two teams that know about the Spectrum home court, Weber State, Colorado State, play each other tonight. And Texas A&M Commerce playing Air Force. A week from tomorrow night in the Spectrum, Oral Roberts will be here. They're playing maybe the best team in the country in some ways. Some think right now in Houston. And they are losing 42-19 in the first half in that game tonight. Baylor's beating Northern Colorado 41-23 right now, Battle of the Bears in that one. And again, as we said, it is Coach Sendak. He coached at North Carolina State for a long time. Coach Odom's dad coached back in the ACC country for a long, long time. So I said to Coach Odom, you have to be close to Herb Sendak down through the years.
Yeah, I've known him forever, actually, and he and Dad were talking last week, and Dad didn't know we had scheduled the game, and Herb said something like, "I don't think either one of us wanted to play this game." He said, "You guys didn't get the Dave Odom okay to do this game." He said, "I would have vetoed it."
Dave didn't want him to get together. He's too good of friends with Herb. Doesn't want him to lose any games. But again, son, I'm sure he's cheering for the Aggies tonight in this one. But Sendak, again, his team comes in at 2-0, off of a win against Georgia Southern the last time out, last Thursday night.
That has to be one of the better shooting displays we've seen. Yeah, I mean, there's not enough adjectives to describe the shooting display he put on in the first half. Not only did he make his open ones, but he made some tough ones. And the thing that you also have to love about Brandon is he just competes. He plays hard. But it was a good team effort tonight. I thought Jaden Bediako really set the tone early and gave our team a great lift tonight. Yeah, he played with a presence and a physicality in the post, and what happens inside spills over and affects the perimeter. If you have an active, formidable presence in the post, that's something that the defense has to be concerned with. And they were sending a second defender into our post, and our forward in general was doing a good job of kicking it out, and then we moved the ball. But yeah, a good team victory. Obviously, the first half was probably better for us than the second half. But, we're still very much a work in progress. I mean, it's November 10th.
It was 42-25 back on November 10th in the first half, and then 78-62 the final. And they did have Stewart, the guard, along with Pojemski in double figures. But Justice and Brown make it, and Bediako are starters for them, for Coach Sendek. This Pojemski, like we mentioned, he was a Mr. Wisconsin basketball, more than 2,000 points 3 years there, averaged 35 as a senior. They have 2 Gatorade Players of the Year from their particular areas because, again, this guy from the point guard, again, I believe Stewart is out of Louisiana. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year there. But this Pojemski's the first guy in the WCC to score back-to-back 30-point games since 2000, except for, I think, a Gonzaga player. I think that's where it's at. So that's a couple of interesting notes. Plus, this Jalen Williams, who was drafted 12th last year by Oklahoma City, only, again, a Gonzaga, other than Gonzaga players, he's the first rounder they've had in the WCC since 2001. Steve Nash in 1996 went to the NBA, 15th choice out of Santa Clara. So he's one of the highest draft picks they've ever had. There's a couple of interesting stats for you. And Cache Valley Bank wants to understand your interesting situation, and they'll help craft needs and solutions to fit your business. They also can work with the individual with your banking needs. They bring you our game day on KVNU as we return more from Coach Ryan Odom.
Are you a small business owner? Who's your bank? This is Bruce Rigby. I want to invite you to bank with us at Cache Valley Bank. We specialize in helping small business, and we have great people. That's the Cache Valley Bank difference. Decisions made locally, without all the red tape, by people who care and know how to help small business. Cache Valley Bank, growing, expanding, and proud to have our roots firmly planted in Cache Valley. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Clean it up and get it out before the snow flies. Don't wait another winter. Let DD Auto and Salvage pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it so easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles by paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. If you have metal, DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204.
That's 787-1204 today.
See store for details.
Alpine Home Medical has been around for over 25 years. Can you believe that? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent. What keeps us coming to work every day? We're passionate about caring for you. From home and bathroom safety to transportation, mobility, recovery, oxygen, sleep, and more, come into any of our 10 locations today and let us take care of you.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
It's engagement season. Time to find the perfect ring. S.E. Needham Jewelers is known for beautifully cut diamonds at excellent prices. Guys, the sparkle is what matters most in the diamond you give your sweetheart. Our diamonds stand apart from those of other stores. Come view our diamonds under magnification. Select a diamond that fits your budget and then have it mounted in a ring that she'll love. Remember, you get S.E. Needham quality at internet pricing. Open Monday through Saturday 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock.
Advanced Heating and AC, the two-time gold medal winner in Best in Northern Utah. They're teaming up with Carrier Heating and Cooling. Carrier provides you the best furnace units available, and now's the best time to buy a new unit before the weather turns Cache Valley cold. Financing options are available. Turn to the experts at Advanced Heating and Carrier. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, 752-7272, or stop by their showroom west of DI and online at advancedheating-ac.com.
We're not comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
This is Zach with HSA Depot. Christmas is nearly here. Make sure you be merry and bright by using your pre-tax funds on your medical needs. We know your regular holiday budget is disappearing quick, so instead, save money by using your pre-tax income to buy qualifying medical supplies. HSA Depot carries hundreds of unique and dashing eligible products to help you conquer your healthcare. Come to HSA Depot next to Sally Beauty Supply and see how much you can save this holiday season. HSA Depot, 5-star review.
it is a good game for both teams, just like the Bradley game was. I mean, this is a WCC team that expects to be a factor within their league. You saw BYU go to San Diego State the other day and play well and have a chance. And so we're matched up with several. It's an exciting game for both teams. Obviously, we're going to go there next year to their place, and we want to make sure that we play well here in the Spectrum.
So we know the Aggies are going to Bradley and they're going to Santa Clara next year. Again, right now, the overall record of the non-conference teams that will play for sure is 20-7. Mountain West teams 19-4. Wyoming did lose yesterday, but then the other teams in Hawaii 9-4. That's a 48-15 record for the teams that the Aggies are playing on their schedule this season in basketball. It's going to be that kind of year. So tonight, to beat a team like Santa Clara, there are a couple things the coach has got in mind. He started off with these keys first.
So we're going to have to get back, get our defense set, and force them into next action. We cannot, afford to give up transition baskets.
Meantime, then, he also talked about a key for the Aggies' offense when they get the ball.
Yeah, I think moving them. We've got to move them around. I think our transition offense has got to be there as well. If we could get stops and get out and run, I think our guys are pretty good at that. We've got to just play our game and try to get our shots, play a certain style, and their pick-and-roll defense, we'll see how they play it when they get in here, but typically they get their bigs are back. They have the ability to switch because they have some versatile defenders as well. So we'll see.
And Jalen, of course, was on it. I was going to bring it up if he didn't about the foul situation of all those fouls the other night. And Coach knows you just cannot hand check and do the things that happened the other night against Bradley.
We just have to do better than we did in our last game. There was too many times as they got downhill on us and got near the rim that we made some poor decisions in terms of coming down and fouling them. We've got to wall up better and make a stand at the rim a little bit better, without fouling. But, these guys are good. We got to make sure we're not hand checking out on the perimeter as well as they try to attack, gaps in the defense. Key is keeping our chest in front.
So they've got guys back who have played last year for them. They did lose a guy to the NBA. They picked up this kid in a transfer from Illinois who's averaging 32 points a game. Stephen Ashworth leads us in scoring, 18.5 points after his career high of 28. Taylor Funk next, and then Bairstow and Shulga in double figures. But then you got Hamoda at 9, Aiken at 8, and then you go down the list now. Again, Jones and Dorius can both score, and especially Jones can do things, and again, didn't get much of a chance to play the other night. So kind of look at your stats right now. Again, the stat is always, it's there still. Aggies are 19-1 if they shoot better than the other team, and every win under Coach Ryan Odom has been a 70-point game or more. Aggies have had 15 or more assists in 9 straight games back to last year. Right now, Funk is number 1 in the Mountain West Conference in rebounding and 28th nationally. Aggies are number 1 in the conference in three-point percentage at 44%. And also, the Aggies are number 2 in the conference in rebound margin and field goal percentage defense. So those things are going to have to work. They are the number 1 team in the Mountain West in three-point percentage defense up until now. And our bench scoring, again, about 45% of our scoring up until now on this season. So, again, this really is a good matchup. Thursday night, Steve Lavin's new team, as he took over at San Diego. We play the Toreros on the road. So this is really an interesting time to test this Aggie team that wants to be the 24th ever Utah State team to get to postseason play. There's no television of this game tonight. Thursday night, there's no television either, but there's streaming. We have the MW network. West Coast Conference has the WCC network on their home games. Their commissioner now, of course, is the new commissioner in our league. And so starting in the first of the year, she will be coming over here and be the new commissioner to replace Craig Thompson. So both conferences kind of operate that way with television and streaming, and it's a good deal. So if you're not going to the Spectrum tonight, there's still tickets. You can head up there right now and see a good game. But if you're not going, of course, you can watch it on the MW network, and then we'll be on immediately after the game. Incidentally, Eagles 14, Commanders 7 in Monday Night Football right now. AEGIS, Aegis Home Health and Hospice, providing nursing services and health care to Cache, Box Elder, Rich County for 20 years, brings you our game day coverage. And we'll be back with our post-game coverage of game day, which includes Aggie Call and your Aggie Text segment. We hope to join with myself and John Russell for that, and we'll get Jalen Moore's keys to the game, and we'll talk to Jalen about it as well. So that does it for our game day. The Aggies playing Santa Clara will be on immediately after the game here on KVNU.
As our world changes, we're with you. News Talk KVNU Logan, 102 FM, 610 AM, the voice of Northern Utah.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. Children are filling hospital beds amid a surge of respiratory illnesses. More than 3/4 of pediatric beds are full, the number increasing 7% since last month. And the triple threat, kids battling flu, RSV, and COVID. Dr. Barry Ramo with the Lovelace Health System in New Mexico.
It appears that the flu season is going to be the worst flu season we've seen in the last 10 years.
John Peterson.